next up, the Green Bay Packers, who do not sign free agents very often. So,
They do not.
but who
This
you
was
got?
a this was the yeah, this was tough. So I actually went with the guy they end up re-signing in Russell Douglas. They re-signed him in 2022. They signed him to a 3-year, $21 million extension. Uh, that's a pretty good 2020, decent 2022 season, and 5 interceptions, 13 passes defended. But for whatever reason, next year the Packers trade him for fifth round pick to the Bills. I think they were just like, oh, we got some better talent, and they just trade this guy after a year. So in my mind, that seemed like a pretty bad idea where you're signing this guy to a pretty decent money contract. He has a good season, solid season for you, but you just trade him to the Bills for a fifth round pick, just to get out of his cap number. So
Mm-hmm.
that was my pick. Really hard to do this for the Packers because they do not sign a lot of free
Yeah,
agents. And that one
exactly. I
year where
was
they
gonna
did
say.
sign, those guys are actually pretty good. So um, it was really hard for the Packers.
Yeah, yeah. This is so. I remember his story. I remember he was on the Raiders. I keep mentioning the Raiders, but yeah, he was on the Raiders in the offseason. He gets cut during preseason, training camp, whatever. He ends up on the Packers, and he has an incredible season. I want to say
Yep.
this was the 2021 season,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
He balls out, plays really well. The Packers don't do that great, but he does really well for them. And I'm kicking myself because we let go of a great cornerback, and then I don't want to say they overpay him, but maybe they get a little too excited about the job that he
Yep.
did. Like you said, he still does pretty good. I mean, 5 picks is that's good for a cornerback.
It's good. Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
which good. It's not great, but the fact that they traded him, like you said, for a fifth round pick is interesting. But again, it's the Packers, so we're kind of slim pickings here. Uh, but speaking of that, they made a pretty uncharacteristic move with my pick, and this was signing Jimmy Graham in 2018. They gave him 3 years, $30 million. So that's a lot of money for the Packers to spend on a free agent, which is something they just don't really do. And he wasn't terrible. He was okay, but he only caught 5 touchdown passes in 2 years with the Packers. I think some of that had to do with Aaron Rodgers being in and out of the lineup. But when you pay a tight end, at least back then, 5 years ago, $10 million a year, you're expecting more than 5 touchdowns in 2 games or in 2 seasons. And then to make things worse is he ends up signing with the Bears in 2021 and catches 8 touchdowns. And he's still, to this day, I don't know how many touchdowns he had this year, but he's like 40 years old and he's still a red zone target. So I think the Packers just misused him or something. But yeah, again, not many choices with the Packers. But do you
Not at
even
all.
remember? I actually forgot that he was on the Packers. I was like, I saw him when
I
I was doing my
I
research. I was like,
remember I
when did
remember
that
they
happen?
did. Yeah, I do remember they brought him in because, and I do remember that, but he just didn't make any memorable plays for the Packers. He was kind of washed up at that point for some reason. So, or at least that's what we thought. I guess it was the Packers, just like maybe Aaron Rodgers just didn't gel with him and he didn't get the targets that he needed. But I do remember him
Yeah.
signing with the Packers and everyone being hyped for him, and then he just kind of
Mhm.
disappeared.
That's a different discussion. But you know what? I don't remember a single memorable tight end that played with Aaron Rodgers. Maybe he
Yeah,
just doesn't like
maybe Aaron
throwing to tight
Rodgers is
ends.
the tight end. Maybe he's just the tight end killer, man. Maybe that's what he is.
Yeah, he has a bunch of guys. Like I remember the other
I mean, the
Rodgers,
best
the
tight
tight
end
end.
was it? What about did he have Jermichael Finley, or was Jermichael
He
Finley
did, but he
before his
kept
time?
getting hurt.
He
He
did.
had like a crazy neck
Yeah,
injury, a bunch of concussions. So maybe
yeah,
he's the
yeah.
only
But
one.
that might be the best tight end he played with.
I mean, he's had other guys, Robert Tanyan. I mean, he has like 100-year-old Mercedes Lewis. Like, oh, he's not good, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. And Tanya
it's
was good
weird.
1 year, kind of. Yeah, it's weird. It's super weird that
I
Rodgers
mean,
doesn't have
every
a
other
good tight
great
end.
quarterback, you can kind of link him with a tight end. I mean, tight end might not have been
Mm-hmm.
their number one receiver, but you think about Manning and Dallas Clark, and obviously Brady and
Yep.
Gronk, Mahomes. It's
Mm-hmm.
just weird. Like,
Yeah,
where's your
yeah.
tight
It's
end?
just weird. Where's your tight? Where's the guy you rely on? Yeah.
Exactly. I guess it's just he likes throwing outside the numbers.